Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I decided it might be fun to talk to you guys about the very small, fairly uneventful, short list of paranormal experiences I have had throughout my life. And when I say throughout my life, I mean in like the past year. It took me most of my life to ever have anything that could be arguably a paranormal experience, and so I thought it might be fun to just kind of go over those today and see what you guys think. So I guess to start off, the first one takes place at the local haunted attraction that I work for. I help out doing some costumes, and I also act during the season. And so what our attraction is we have two wooded trails that are like the main attractions, and then I work in a smaller side attraction that's more like a maze, and it's modeled after the above ground cemeteries like in New Orleans. And so it's called the Crypt, and you walk through and there's just like life-size crypts that actors can, hide in, go around in and out of, and walk around and try and scare you. And so I work in there and I have my very own crypt. And so one night during the season, me and my trail lead were sort of sitting just inside my crypt, in between groups. We were kind of at a lull. We hadn't had one in a while. And we were just chit-chatting. So to kind of give you guys an idea of what this area looks like, I have it, they're like a 6x4 box with a door and curtains, that you can go inside of and hang out in between groups and then pop out whenever a group is coming and, scare them. And so mine is hung with white vinyl curtains, and outside is a hallway and it's lit from across the hallway. So anything in the hallway, a shadow casts onto my curtains and you can see it very clearly. And so, like I said, we were just sitting in there talking, and all of a sudden, a shadow passes our door. And we both just kind of stopped talking and looked at each other, and we were just like, was that a group? Did we miss a group? And we were just like, no, we didn't hear a cue. There wasn't a cue. And because being such a small open-air attraction, you can hear all of the groups ahead of you and the actors ahead of you going off when there's a group coming through. You can hear it the whole way, and you know exactly when it's your turn. And so we had heard nothing. There was no actors going off. There was no screaming, nothing of that nature to indicate that a group was coming at all. My trail lead ran out and went ahead to the actors past my scene and was just like, hey, did we miss a group? Did a group just come through? And they were all like, no, why? And she came back and told me, and I was just like, well, what went past our door? So yeah, that's one, and obviously that can be explained probably with something that I'm just not seeing at the moment, I'm sure there's probably a logical explanation for that, but at the time, and still to this day, I haven't been able to figure it out, and neither has my friend, the trail lead, who was also present and witnessed it with me. So I feel like that's always what makes a story a little more credible, is if you've had someone there to witness it with you and you both saw the same thing happen. But yeah, so that was my first one. And the second one, I think, is a tiny bit creepier. It's still not, terrifying. But basically, it was one night I was laying in bed, I had been asleep, and I kind of woke up to roll over, and I was laying back down, getting ready to doze off, when I heard the sound of change rattling. And I do have a pair of change jars sitting on a bookshelf kind of like across the room from my bed. And I was just, at first, I immediately recognized the noise, and I was just like, that's odd. And, I'm not one of those people that immediately jumps to, ghosts. I'm like, is there a bug in my change? Is there, a mouse poking around over there? What's going on? And so I, set up and turned the light on. I was looking over there. I didn't get out of bed, because I was a little creeped out, because, when you hear something go bump in the night, you're always just like, I don't really think I want to know. But I looked over there, I turned the light on, and I investigated from my bed. Couldn't see anything moving around over there, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And especially the thing that really makes it weird to me, personally, is that both of my change jars are sort of like piggy bank style, where they're enclosed. And so really, the only way to make the change rattle is to, apply force to the change jar, to pick it up, to shift it, to rattle it around. And so I was like, a bug or a mouse couldn't have gotten inside of them with them closed, so I don't see how that could have happened. Also, nothing else in the room rattled, it couldn't have been an earthquake, because I don't think an earthquake can literally just affect two 2 change jars and nothing else. You know, I had plenty of other things around the room that would have rattled in a situation like that. Also, I didn't feel anything. You know, I just heard the noise. And so I just chalked it up to a creepy mystery, and I decided to, you know, turn the light off and try and go back to sleep. So I laid back down, and it had been probably no more than 30 minutes. And I heard the sound, like a very distinct noise of paper rustling. And it was coming from the same area over there by the bookshelf. And I was just like, okay, that shouldn't be happening. There's nothing, like, there was no breeze, you know, the windows were closed, like, there was not really anything over there that should be blowing, nor had anything been blowing for the, like, whole rest of the night, or any other night before that. So just kind of out of the blue, some paper rustling over there. And I was like, okay, it's just that bugger mouse, you know, whatever rattled the change, haha, you know, because that actually happened. And so again, I was like, all right, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore it and try and go back to sleep. And so shortly after I heard the paper rustling, I again heard a quieter change jingle noise, like kind of just like some of the change had shifted in its place. And again, really no excellent explanation for why that should be happening, but it didn't, you know, it was. I think, you know, everyone's heard the sound of change jingling and rattling around on itself. We all pretty much know what that sounds like and recognize it when we hear it. And so that's what happened. And I, to this day, don't have any reasonable explanation for what caused that. And it was kind of funny because the next day I told my dad about it, and I had actually gotten him an EMF detector for Christmas that year, and so he went up there with the EMF and was trying to like do some readings around my change jars, but of course they're sitting on a bookshelf near like my TV and electronics and stuff, so he wasn't getting any accurate reading. I'm sure anything that was beeping was from the electronics, but yeah, it was just kind of funny. He was doing some amateur ghost hunting in there. Yeah, so those are just my 2 little stories. I don't know why. It's kind of funny, I lived my whole life without having anything that really ever struck me as like an unexplained, potentially paranormal experience, and then I had these 2 kind of in rapid succession within like a year. And so if anything else weird like that happens, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. I have heard that the apartment complex I live in is supposedly really haunted because I live basically just across a river from a Civil War era battlefield, and so of course tons of people died just very near me, you know, on that land. And so I've had friends that have said they've lived in these complexes and experienced all sorts of an array of activity, but I've never really, that's the first thing that's ever happened in my apartment, and nothing has happened since. That's been kind of a while now. It's been probably at least 6 months. And so nothing again. It's like I don't feel creepy in my apartment alone or anything, like not because of the apartment. If I like watch something terrifying, then I'm a little creeped out, but like, you know, not from the apartment directly. So yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think of these, and let me know if you have any paranormal experiences of your own. And go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I know it's been a while since my last video, but I'm definitely trying to get back on the horse and get these out more regularly. Just been a little struggly trying to come up with some good ideas, something that would be entertaining for a large audience. So, not that I have a large audience, but you know, one day I might. And when they look back on my first few videos, I don't want them to think, well, what have I been doing with my life watching this person? She's boring. But thank you anyway for watching so much, and if you have any suggestions for anything you might want to see in the future, go ahead and let me know. I am totally open to suggestions, and like I said, thank you very much for watching. Bye!